Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me. You'll see interesting places you probably haven't seen. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me.
Sports fans, what do you do? What do you do when you leave the house, lock the doors behind you, and forget your keys? Well, if you're smart, you probably have a key hidden somewhere around the house. That is, if you're smart. However, having said that, if you're not smart, you don't have a key hidden outside. Also, your rental truck does not have keyless entry, so you can't open the garage door. Now what do you do? There's nobody home. Well, you make a phone call and you holler, "Help! Help! I'm locked out." Send somebody quick with a key. That's what you normally do, and that's exactly what old Ben has had to do. So I'm patiently waiting here for a key, because I can't go anywhere. Well, folks, where's he at today? Well, I'm over here at the Dinosaur Museum, the new Dinosaur Museum in South Bend, Indiana. That'd be it right behind me there. And there's more to it than just that. You got the South Bend Chocolate Company, headquartered here. Yep. You got the South Bend Public House over here. That's a restaurant. See that over there? And then they got down there, you got a farm market, which isn't open right now. But this place is starting to busy up for some reason. I'm going to go inside and take a look. They'll let me film in here. We'll take a look and see what we got. And I'll take you. Well, friends, this is what greets you as you come into the Dinosaur Museum. This museum goes back through 1.9 billion years of history. Not bad. 43 dinosaur sculptures and 30 skeletons. They also have some original dinosaur skin, which is very rare. And it's an interactive museum. People in green shirts walking around, you can always ask them questions, but I'll tell you what, they'll come right up to you and start explaining things. Very, very friendly, very, very informative. Now here I'm going to give you a little bit about the size of this thing. She is big. How do you measure up? We're just little squirts. Can't even wrap a hand around it. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about this, but not a lot, because I want you to come and see it and find out for yourself. There's a guy named Mark Turner. Now he's the CEO, actually the owner of the chocolate factory, South Bend Chocolates, known worldwide. Now Mark took up paleontology. Oh, did I murder that? Paleontology, I murdered it again, as a hobby. You can look these words up, folks. You pronounce them. And that's how this all came about. Now, he's done digging himself and dug up some interesting things we'll talk about a little later. But again, I'm not going to tell you a whole lot as we go. I can tell you that's one big, I think that was a crocodile. I'm not sure. There's a T-Rex replica. That'll give you an idea how this guy could hurt you. That big tail you see him sporting all the time, well, that tail only good that really tail's good for his balance, but look at these teeth. Now that one tooth's bigger than my hand, folks. They say meat eater. They chop you in two in one bite. This is interesting. These are real skeletons. However, the head is different than the body. And that one died, by the way, probably from arthritis. It's got severe arthritis and probably got down and laid down, never got up again. This is interesting. Talk about an old tree. It gives you an idea of the time history of this tree. Birth of Christ. For 400 AD. Mayans. 800. Chinese invent gunpowder. Very, very interesting. Mark Turner is the brains behind this whole operation. The guy that created it. It is estimated only, and this is an estimate only, that he used about $14 million of his own money. Pretty good. By the way, these are petrified forests, petrified wood. I got news for you, folks. It's not wood. Well, it was wood one time, but due to sediment and pressures, it's not wood anymore. It's made up of various elements which have seeped into the wood. The wood was, when the wood rotted away, the elements were left. And here's some of those elements. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, thanks to Mark Turner, we have this in South Bend, and I only see it getting bigger and better. People here are great. I'm really advising you to come see this. And the schools, anybody within, I'd say 100 miles, make a field trip. Bring your students here. Now, I'm not talking little kids. But I'm talking maybe 8 years old or so, 7, 8 and up. Don't let the cost worry you. Cost a few bucks to get in here. It's well worth it, and this is only going to get bigger and better. They got to keep the lights on, folks. If you're in South Bend, Mishawaka, or anywhere around here and you haven't seen this, shame on you. But come on out and see it. And don't miss the movie. Yes, they have a movie. They have a theater and a movie. Don't miss that. I would go to that right away if I was you. These are interesting. We have vertebrae in our necks. We can turn our heads. They've actually got a swivel. That's right. Ball and joint. And the head swivels. Interesting. Now this lady back here, I'm not talking about the one in the desk, but I'm talking about the one standing there. We're going to come back to her in a little bit. That's Janice. We're going to talk a little bit about Janice. This I found interesting. Prehistoric crocodile and prehistoric alligator. Prehistoric alligator here with a head of today's alligator. Look at the size difference. And on the other side, prehistoric crocodile and the head of a modern crocodile. Wow. I don't like either one, to be honest with you. I wouldn't want to get bit by either one, but you'd be done if the big one got you. Now, this boy was big, and he lived in the oceans and shallow seas. 3,000 pounds and 56 feet long. When this boy got a hold of you, I mean, it took a lot of meat on a daily basis. Keep this boy going. He was hungry. Well, they found Janet, and this was Mark and his family, and his team unearthed this. That's right. They put Janice back together again. It's interesting how they do it. Once they dig them up, the parts and so forth, they wrap them in tin foil before they put castor or anything over them, cloth, and then plaster to protect them. But the tin foil keeps the plaster and everything from sticking to them. You notice the feet all look like kind of like a bird's foot? That's right. We are related to the birds. Well, they're related to the birds. There's that large tail for balance. I told you it was arthritis that got this one. And then there's the footprint. Awfully big, but it looks like a bird. Speaking of birds, there's a big bird. Gives you an idea how big these birds were. This is very, very interesting. It's the legs. Well, 2 legs on this bird. And also the wings that they walked on, supported themselves on. And the elbow in the wing. And the wing bent backwards. You can see a little bit of it here. But on that elbow, there's like toes. Now you have to come in, folks. You have to come in to see this and understand how it operated. I wouldn't think it was very fast on land. And I wouldn't think takeoff would be very easy either. But I wasn't around. Now they could tell you if you ask them. Ask somebody in a green shirt. There's that elbow in the wing. Actually, I think there's 2 elbows in that wing. Maybe 3 joints. Now the camera, as always, doesn't do things justice. Inside of that mouth is about 6 foot. 6 foot high. Go ahead and pronounce that for me. Now in that nursery are eggs, chickens, and so forth. Do you know that if you put your finger in front of a chicken egg or a hatchling, and you bend your finger a little bit and move it around, he'll follow that finger about anywhere. There's the gift shop where you can spend $1 or $2. And here you have the dining room where you can also buy your chocolates there. If you like chocolate of any kind, South Bend chocolate's known worldwide. It's great. And you can take a tour. Now, I didn't take the tour today, but someday I'll come back and do that. And that's how you get outside. Now, I'm not sure who this is. I thought, well, it makes sense if it would be this Mark, but don't know. These are the trails to the Continental Divide. And you're going to say, well, wait, Ben, the Continental Divide is out west. Well, folks, I think if you look it up, you're going to find there are 3 to 5 of them just in the United States. Of course, there's a major one, but there are more than one, folks. Well, this property, I believe this belongs to the owner's daughter, who runs the museum. Could be wrong, but I do believe that's right. Sign says Indiana South Bend, elevation 840 feet of sea level. Be back here. Pretty nice place. She's got a good view. This is interesting. This rock down here was formed in Canada 2.3 million years ago and was brought down by the glaciers just so it could settle here in South Bend. Not bad. Well, if I was a glacier stone, I wouldn't mind settling in South Bend. Many of our rocks down here were brought in from Canada. And here's a map to show you some of what we're talking about. Well, this trail is called the Continental Divide Trail, and it's only about a mile. Looks a little bit of hilly, a little bit of hill there. Old Ben's up to it. Signs along the way. Maybe out of bats. That's all right. I don't need to see a bat today. But they are kind of prehistoric. Now this hill got a little climb to it. It comes up, must go down somewhere. The Leidig Bog. Don't think I'm going there. Well, folks, that's an overview. An overlook, you might say, and that's South Bend Airport. And back there is Notre Dame, the Golden Dome. Quite a view from up here, really. You gotta have a junkyard. Where do you put your trash? Well, that's where they put the trash. So I'm going back a little different way. I wouldn't call it the scenic route by any means, but we'll be in the woods here in a minute, and that's a good thing. Cool everything down, meaning me. Yeah, I'd say take water with you. You come out here in the summer days. Well, folks, Ben's hungry by now, so I'm going to have me a little meal and a drink here. No chocolates right now. But I have me a ham sandwich, some potato salad. Oh, pretty darn good. Yeah, that hot ham and cheese sandwich. I think next time I'd try a wrap. Also, the next trip I've got to see that factory, the chocolate factory. Home of the upside down burger. Gotta try that too. Yeah, live music and a stage behind the place. See you next week, folks. Down the road.
Take a virtual ride with me. You'll see an interesting places you probably haven't seen. I hope you enjoy the ride. Discover new places with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me. There's a beautiful country out there to see. Relax in your seat and turn on your TV. Sights and sounds will fill your video screen. Historic sights features just some scenery. Small town parks and festivities. No high price gas or anxiety. All of this from me to you I'll share, and you won't even have to leave your comfy armchair. You got the whole wide world to see. Great destinations and friendly people for sea to shining sea. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Come on back and relax and take another